The ancient civilization of the Sumerians, originating over 4,000 years in the past, were the pioneers in writing, jurisprudence, and grand architectural creation. Yet, there are enigmas regarding their fascinating culture that persist in baffling the most enlightened scholars in the fields of archaeology and historical studies. The exact genesis of their civilization remains a question no one can truly answer. The abrupt rise, followed by an equally sudden disappearance, brings forth a plethora of questions. The sophisticated language, cuneiform inscriptions, technological progress, the distinctive Sumerian seals, and the record of monarchs. These are but a few of the mysteries left in the wake of this civilization. Accompany us as we delve into 10 of the most profound mysteries concerning the ancient Sumerians that continue to confound experts today. 10. The magnificent Ziggurat of Ur, situated in the heart of antiquated Mesopotamia, within the thriving metropolis of Ur, stands the grand Ziggurat of Ur. This imposing stepped pyramid, which once graced the southern landscapes of present-day Iraq, was a wonder in its era. The monumental structure expanded meticulously throughout the 3rd millennium BC, boasting dimensions of a staggering 64 meters in length, 46 meters in width, and an unknown height lost to the sands of time. Protected by a veneer of fired bricks, the mud brick core assured the hallowed edifice's enduring resistance to weathering forces. Records from history inform us that King Ur-Nammu, during the reign of Ur's 3rd dynasty, initiated its construction, a venture that saw completion under his son, King Shulgi. An embodiment of Ur's pulse, the ziggurat occupied a central position in the temple compound, essentially forming the administrative nucleus of the city. The popular belief is that this structure was a terrestrial homage to a sky deity, dedicated to the moon god Nana. Representing the heavenly abode, owing to Nana's association with the eastern mountains, it became a symbolic dwelling for the deity. Envisioned as Nana's residence on earth, a humble sanctuary at the pinnacle awaited him. This apex housed accommodations for a chosen maiden, designated as the god's companion, while a kitchen situated on the northwest staircase catered to divine culinary needs. The external periphery accommodated mortal attendants, featuring storerooms, quarters for priests, and a ceremonial palace. Long lost to oblivion, this ancient marvel was brought back to light in the 19th century through the endeavors of European explorers. The rediscovery of Ur's treasures ignited a fresh wave of interest, revealing the grandeur of the famed ziggurat anew. Nevertheless, extensive inquiries have yet to unravel the precise role and significance of the ziggurat. The scholarly community posits diverse theories concerning its function, igniting an intellectual discourse. While some advocate for a religious role, envision it as a temple for high priestly rituals and offerings to deities, others see an astronomical orientation, highlighting the alignment of its platforms and staircases with astronomical phenomena like solstices and equinoxes. The dedication to the moon god lends credibility to these hypotheses, suggesting a cosmic connection. Another line of thought perceives it as an emblem of the mythical cosmic mountain, recurrent in ancient Near Eastern lore, positing it as a nexus between the heavenly and earthly realms, facilitating divine interaction with humankind. Supporting this view is the existence of a temple at the ziggurat summit, potentially devoted to Nana, the deity. Yet, the true function of the ziggurat remains concealed in mystery. Subjected to alterations and damages over centuries, only its basal remnants stand today, challenging archaeologists to restore its bygone grandeur. Consequently, the enigmatic ziggurat of Ur remains a focal point for historians and scholars, offering a glimpse into the religious convictions and rituals of ancient Sumerians. Number 9. The King's List. The Sumerian King's List stands as a pivotal artifact, offering insights into the inception of monarchy in the region. It serves as a ledger, meticulously documenting each Sumerian king's tenure and the duration of their rule. The list encompasses details on surrounding dynasties, comprising names, speculated periods of dominion, and the epicenters of formal rulerships. It doesn't shy away from referencing a selection of pre-dynastic sovereigns. Yet this list embodies facets that leave scholars baffled. The inaugural find in this historical exploration, a cuneiform tablet aged 4,000 years, came to light in ancient Nippur through the discerning efforts of Hermann Hilprecht. Following this maiden discovery, an additional 18 versions of the King's List have emerged, predominantly originating from the latter portion of the Eastern dynasty. The collection's pinnacle, the Weld Blundell Prism, graces the halls of the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, asserting a dominant presence. The prism, believed to have housed a central axis for rotation, encompasses eras from the antediluvian reigns to the 14th monarch of the Eastern dynasty. This artifact transcends a mere historical piece. It constitutes a gateway into Sumer's past. Scrutinizing its baffling elements, it is apparent that the King's List attributes incredibly prolonged rule to early monarchs, spanning tens of thousands of years. Certain individuals even find mention as rulers. The chronicle commences with 8 pre-flood antediluvian kings, preceding the emergence of burgeoning city-states post-deluge. At its onset, the King's List unfurls a tale almost divine, delineating the transfer of kingship from the heavens to Eridu. It paints a realm governed by beings like Alulim and Aluljar, reigning for staggering spans of 28 and 836,000 years, respectively. Their narratives intertwine with the legendary tales of Etana, Lugalbanda, and Gilgamesh, figures enveloped in Sumerian and Babylonian mystery. Such extensive reigns, attributed to early rulers, incite a whirlpool of questions. While some dismiss these astronomic durations as mere fabrications, others contemplate the existence of deities amidst humans, hinting at a Sumerian cyclical conception of time. A middle ground proposes that these figures might represent relative significance. Elongated reigns could underscore perceived prominence, mirroring the reverence accorded to centenarians in ancient Egypt. A conceivable scenario posits potential errors by historians in translating or interpreting the original data, possibly denoting shorter intervals or simple generational shifts. Complicating matters is the roster's amalgamation of both legendary and historical figures within the King's Chronicle. While corroborative archaeological and textual findings affirm the existence of several listed monarchs, others seem to dwell in the realms of legend. This fusion of reality and myth casts aspersions on the veracity of the King's List, fostering speculation on its true purpose. Beyond mere record-keeping, it possibly aimed to validate the reign of certain dynasties through ancestral ties to divine predecessors, a mandate conceived in heavenly realms to reinforce their reign and dominion. This perspective gains traction given the list's dynamic nature, evolving with updates and reiterations as new rulers ascended and the political canvas of Sumer transformed. The King's List exhibits striking parallelism with the biblical narrative of the Great Flood, chronicling the reigns of 8 pre-catastrophe monarchs. Post-flood, entries depict truncated tenures, resonating with the diminished lifespans detailed in Genesis, adding another layer to the enigma compelling scholars to delve deep. Representing more than a historical documentation, the Sumerian King's List emerges as a literary enigma, weaving together the historical and mythological tapestry of Sumerian civilization. The perplexing longevity of the initial rulers, the amalgamation of historical and mythical entities, and speculated political underpinnings behind its creation continue to arrest the attention of researchers, fostering ceaseless scrutiny. Number 8. Sumerian females and Queen Kubaba researchers and academicians maintain a keen interest in the role and stature of women in ancient Sumerian society. While the exact rights and social standing of women fluctuated depending on the time period and their social class, there is supporting evidence to argue that females in Sumer held a more pronounced and authoritative role than their male counterparts. In a progressive stance for its time, the Sumerian judicial framework granted females a significant measure of liberties and privileges that were absent in other contemporaneous societies. These rights, enshrined in law, allowed women to own assets, conduct business transactions, and even seek divorce under particular circumstances. While not entirely free from male governance, be it from a father or a spouse, the legislative safeguards in place highlighted the premium the Sumerian culture placed on women's welfare and autonomy. This notion holds intrigue for analysts tracing the origin of gender balance. The Sumerian spiritual practices echoed the elevated role of women, a testimony to which is the life and works of Enheduanna, a prominent priestess and poet who lived in the Ur city around 2300 BCE. A progeny of King Sargon of Akkad, she enjoys the distinction of being among the earliest known writers globally. Enheduanna's revered compositions in praise of the deity. Enheduanna continued to be a subject of literary and historical examinations. Her elevated position within the religious hierarchy underscores the potential for women to assume roles of power and influence in Sumerian society. However, due to a scarcity of primary sources, the daily realities and experiences of common women, especially from the lower strata, largely remain elusive. Though there is a consensus on Sumerian women enjoying greater freedoms compared to other ancient civilizations, the full extent of their contributions remains obscure. With every new archaeological finding, scholars are bestowed with deeper insights, ensuring the persistent intrigue surrounding women's status in Sumerian civilization. Supplementing this narrative, the king list, inscribed on a clay tablet, enumerates the reigns of Sumerian leaders, drawing attention to a remarkable female ruler named Kubaba. Breaking away from the customary line of male leaders, she ascended to power in the city-state of Kish around 2500 BCE. Despite the prevailing ambiguities, the list offers glimpses into her assertive rule, characterized by determination and resilience. Kubaba's narrative delineates a journey of perseverance rather than entitlement. She rose to command, challenging the predominant male stronghold in governance. This formidable ruler not only broke the glass ceiling, but initiated a rule marked by a monumental event, becoming the first woman to rule the kingdom. While many facets of her journey to the throne remain shrouded in mystery, the king list credits her with strengthening Kish's foundations, indicating that her reign went beyond symbolism to forge a dynasty that spanned a notable century. 7. The elusive city of Aratta, the engrossing narrative of the lost city of Aratta, has persistently beguiled scholars and archaeology enthusiasts alike. This enigmatic city-state is theorized to have been a beacon of wealth and culture during its heyday in early human civilization. The exact geographical and historical specifics of Aratta continue to remain obscured, fueling ongoing speculation and exploration. Referenced in ancient Sumerian texts dating back to the 3rd millennium BC, including prominent works such as the Epic of Enmerkar and Tales of Rugalbanda, Aratta is portrayed as a prosperous yet remote entity, often in economic and political discourse. with the Sumerian capital Uruk. This relationship delineated a complex interplay of trade, diplomacy, and confrontation, with Aratta emerging as a potent adversary to Uruk. Despite chronicled records, the exact locality and nature of Aratta evade contemporary understanding. Its presence in literary works, including the Lugalbanda tales and the Epic of Anmarkar, certifies its historical acknowledgement, yet its precise locale remains debatable. Potential sites spanning the Iranian plateau, with its linguistic and cultural resonance with ancient Elamites and Sumerians, to regions including the Caucasus, Armenian highlands, and the Indus Valley, have all been speculated but with no definitive evidence surfacing to demystify Aratta's location. Each archaeological excavation unveils aged settlements, tantalizingly close yet devoid of definitive markers to authenticate Aratta's existence. While some theorize Aratta to be a fabricated utopia, a manifestation of Sumerian storytelling to cast their own society in a mythical aura, others pursue the unraveling of this historical enigma. Illustrated as a hub rich in rare metals, precious stones, and intricate craftsmanship, Aratta's portrayal in Sumerian scriptures continues to fuel explorations deep into historical realms in search of verifiable truth. Its actuality, either as an archaeological revelation or a mythic construct, hangs in a delicate balance, with time poised to unveil the ultimate truth. 6. Affinity for beer. The Sumerians are renowned for their groundbreaking inventions, such as the development of writing, the invention of the plough, and forming legal frameworks. Yet, amongst their milestones, they nurtured a profound affection for beer. This fondness is substantiated by clay seals dating between 2,600 and 2,350 years, which showcase vibrant imagery of beer consumption in festive banquet scenes. This beverage transcended mere enjoyment. It was ingrained in their culture. Additional investigations unearth that the Sumerians were inaugural brewers, mastering beer production in the 4th millennium BC. The method remains elusive, yet the outcome was distinct. They conceived a barley concoction so hearty and dense that it necessitated a particular straw for filtration during consumption. Yet it extended beyond taste. The Sumerians cherished beer for its nutritive attributes, associating it with happiness and a satisfied liver. This adoration was so deep that it led to venerating a deity, Ninkasi, the goddess embodying the brewing craft. A famous hymn applauds her for fostering a seed from the earth. It baffles many contemplating the Sumerian brewing prowess. Nevertheless, this forms a pivotal facet of the Sumerian heritage, positioning them as ancient brewers. Their craft birthed a tradition enduring thousands of years. 5. Profound wisdom. The early Sumerians exhibited mathematical skills that were both advanced and groundbreaking. Contrary to our existing decimal system, the Sumerians derived inspiration from a different numeral concept. 6. Utilizing a base 60 or sexagesimal structure centralized around the adaptable number 60, they crafted a mathematical phenomenon that went beyond a simple numerical curiosity. This approach influenced our perception of time, introducing measurements in increments of 60 seconds as opposed to 100 seconds, which is commonplace today. The 60-second minute and the 60-minute hour didn't stem from the modern digital era. They originated from ancient Mesopotamia's core. Successive generations, including the Babylonians, adopted this methodology to unravel celestial enigmas. Leveraging this ingenious system, they charted the heavens, calculating the lengths of months and years. Base 60 transcended spatial and temporal boundaries. The Sumerians bequeathed a legacy that segmented a circle, a representation of unity, into 360 portions. Their innovation shaped not only the measurement of time, but also grounded the fundamental geometry of Earth. It was the Sumerians who bestowed the 12-inch unit that persists today. The genesis of this profound understanding remains enigmatic. Sumerian, one of the earliest documented languages, emerged around 4,500 years pre-Christ. It stands apart, lacking clear affiliations with other linguistic groups. The texts are exclusively in Sumerian, predating Indo-European and Semitic dialects, underscoring its position as the region's premier written language. The writing medium, cuneiform, evolved from rudimentary sketches to a sophisticated system encompassing over 700 symbols. Despite concerted efforts to decode the language, mysteries abound regarding its inception and progression. An intriguing dimension is its apparent isolation from other known languages. Scholars propose a potential connection to Dravidian dialects in India. Yet this theory remains unverified. The Sumerian linguistic construct distinguishes it from contemporary ancient dialects, augmenting the complexity of understanding it. The inception of cuneiform script is another riddle. The primordial tablets, traced back to roughly 3,200 years pre-Christ, exhibit remarkable proficiency. The swift progression from basic illustrations to the cuneiform script's wedge-shaped imprints is confounding. Sumerian language and literature persisted for over 3 millennia. Subsequent civilizations, like the Assyrians, sustained the use of this writing practice. The longevity of this ancient language and script is astonishing, resembling a vast evolving puzzle with seemingly no links to other linguistic frameworks, refusing to disappear over extensive periods. This linguistic enigma continues to engage scholars in a persistent quest for answers. Additionally, the Sumerians exhibited adeptness in irrigation and agriculture, fostering prosperity through agricultural advancements. Their aptitude in constructing complex canal and dike systems facilitated water management, transforming the region between the Tigris and Euphrates into a rich agricultural land. This enabled them to nurture diverse crops and sustain a large populace. It epitomizes their remarkable technological and managerial acumen, leaving historians pondering the advanced capabilities that seemed extraordinarily forward for their epoch. Number 4. The Epic of King Gilgamesh and Anunnaki. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a massive poem with roughly 300 verses. It tells the tale of a Sumerian king who embarks on a dangerous mission. His journey takes him to terrifying monsters and the puzzling mystery of eternal life. The hero is portrayed in these lyrics as a demigod, similar to Hercules, with superhuman strength. However, what makes this epic mysterious is that the legendary character is not merely a concept. Scholars believe he was based on a real-life monarch who governed the ancient city of Uruk and went out on a quest for immortality. The Epic of Gilgamesh seems to be more than just a story. It's a treasure of historical knowledge. Experts believe that this hero could be the 5th ruler of Uruk, but no one can uncover this mystery till now. Gilgamesh's name appears on the Sumerian king list, and inscriptions commemorate his accomplishments, including the construction of Uruk's towering defensive walls and the restoration of a temple devoted to the goddess Ninhil. These discoveries imply that, beyond the veil of fiction, Gilgamesh was a real-life monarch. The Anunnaki are also well represented in the Epic of Gilgamesh. The story combines encounters between Gilgamesh and Anunnaki deities, such as Enkidu, Ishtar, and Utu, highlighting the divine character's intimate ties to the Sumerian people. The Anunnaki, a group of deities in Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian mythology, has sparked many theories. The term Anunnaki derives from the Sumerian word Anunna, which means those of royal blood or princely offspring. These celestial beings are thought to be the progeny of Anu, the ultimate Sumerian pantheon god, and Kai, the earth goddess, In Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki were credited with the creation of humanity, as well as the building of civilization. Scholars have struggled to determine the precise nature of the Anunnaki and their function in Sumerian civilization. The Anunnaki are depicted in ancient Sumerian literature as celestial creatures who descended from the skies to mold human history. They were frequently depicted as intermediaries between gods and humanity, ensuring the cosmos' balance and the execution of the divine will. Several explanations have been proposed to explain the identity and purpose of the Anunnaki. Some ideas indicate that extraterrestrials affected Sumerian culture and technology. Others think that they were a group of semi-divine kings who guided the development of Sumerian civilization. Another way of view regards them as symbolic representations of natural and cosmic powers. Even after much research and debate, doubts regarding the Anunnaki remain. Now, it's time for our subscribers' pick. Here's an image of a strange discovery in the ancient ruins of Sumeria. It looks like quite a well-preserved mummy of a human, but certain features make you look twice. Is this what humans looked like during that period, with evolutionary changes, making us look as we do now? Or is this one of the demigods mentioned in the Sumerian texts? Some other weird finds include statues wearing protective lenses resembling sunglasses. Let us know your thoughts below. 3. Extensive trading network. Sumerians were incredible traders. Despite its limited supplies of timber, stones, and minerals, ancient Mesopotamia gave birth to one of humanity's first commercial networks, spanning both land and water. Dilmun, now known as Bahrain, was one of their most important trading partners. This island was famous for its copper, a valuable commodity. Dilmun's services, however, went beyond copper. It also contained gold and diamonds from the far-off lands of Oman and the Indus Valley. The Sumerians were fascinated by the attraction of lapis lazuli, a beautiful blue gemstone used for ornamentation and art. Evidence suggests that merchants traveled as far as Afghanistan in order to secure these stones. To deal with their homeland's shortage of wood, stone, and minerals, the Sumerians established a massive commerce network that included both land and marine channels. While Dilmun dominated due to its copper monopoly, Sumerian merchants ventured on extended journeys to Anatolia and Lebanon in search of valuable cedar wood. The appeal of gold and gemstones drove them to exotic locations such as Oman and the Indus Valley, as the Sumerians were strongly moved by the vivid blue enchantment of lapis lazuli. They traveled huge distances, possibly even to Afghanistan, to obtain these magnificent diamonds. Furthermore, signs in Sumerian texts suggest ancient trading lands known as Megan and Meloha. Baton. These could correspond to Egypt and Ethiopia, demonstrating their extensive trading relations. It's amazing to think about how capable the ancient Sumerians were as traders. However, there are numerous gaps in the mystery of Sumerian trading. It is up to historians to dig for further details in order to address the unsolved issues about Sumerian trading. 2. Ancient Sumerian seals. Ancient Sumerian seals, often known as cylinder seals, are small cylindrical items made of stone, glass, or ceramic. These seals, carved with elaborate designs and inscriptions, date back to the dawn of Sumerian civilization. They served practical applications such as document confirmation, container security, and ownership marking. Despite their practical responsibilities, these seals have revealed mysteries that have baffled experts, leaving them wondering about their origins, meanings, and functions. The detailed images on these seals are among the most appealing characteristics of them. Their surfaces are covered with scenes from mythology, religion, and everyday life. Sumerian seals were usually centered on 3 major themes: contests, banquets, and religion. On these artifacts, exquisite carvings of deities, humans, animals, vegetation, and religious symbols can be found. Geometric motifs and ancient inscriptions provided a degree of complexity. Deciphering these symbols has proven to be a difficult undertaking. As a result, the true intentions and meanings underlying the exhibited iconography are mostly unknown. Craftsmanship adds another interesting aspect. The seals are extremely detailed and precise, thanks to the use of advanced processes and tools. What's more surprising is their age, with some dating back to 3500 BC. Sumerian artists' methods and tools appear to be very advanced for their time, highlighting their skill. Another mystery about Sumerian seals is their widespread distribution. Scholars disagree on their origins. Some think they arose in Syria between the 8th and 7th millennia BC, while others suggest Sumer around the 4th millennium BC. These seals, discovered throughout Mesopotamia, Anatolia, and the Levant, reveal a network of trade and exchange across many cultures and civilizations. The wide-ranging dispersal raises questions regarding Sumerian interactions and linkages with neighboring communities, as well as the role of these seals in developing these links. Moreover, the Sumerian seals raise questions regarding the civilization's social and economic characteristics. From high-ranking officials and priests to merchants and artisans, these seals were possessed and used by people from all walks of life. This widespread ownership means that seals played important roles in Sumerian daily life. Unanswered questions will be resolved as more of these artifacts are discovered. 1. Disappearance of the Sumerian civilization. For centuries, historians and archaeologists have been puzzled by the mystery surrounding the Sumerian civilization's disappearance. No one really knows how such a great civilization came to an end, but there are many theories that suggest the possible end of the Sumerian civilization. The Sumerians, as one of the earliest advanced civilizations, accomplished amazing feats in agriculture, construction, writing, and mathematics. However, around the end of the 3rd millennium BCE, the Sumerian civilization began to disintegrate, vanishing from history. Some suggest that the rise of competing forces in the region throughout the late 3rd and early 2nd millennia BCE were a crucial cause of their demise. Under the leadership of Sargon of Akkad, the Akkadian Empire expanded its dominance and conquered Sumerian city-states. They were able to eventually establish history's first recognized empire. Considering this, historians suggest that there would have been a shift in power. The once glorious Sumerian political influence and autonomy would have been reduced. The other regional powers, such as the 3rd dynasty of Ur and the Old Babylonian Empire, would have eroded their dominance even further. Another important factor in their extinction was the steady deterioration of the cuneiform writing system. As Sumerian city-states lost political strength, so did the usage of their original language and script. Akkadian took the place of Sumerian, which evolved into Assyrian and Babylonian dialects. This linguistic transition, together with the disappearing cuneiform, aided in the final deterioration of Sumerian culture and identity. The Sumerians were also afflicted by internal conflict and social turmoil. City-states found themselves entangled in several battles as they competed for resources and authority. These battles and disagreements increased political and economic instability, hastening the civilization's demise. The Sumerian civilization's demise is a complex riddle that includes the development of rival powers, the withering of the cuneiform system, environmental degradation, and internal conflicts. Although many details remain unknown, historians continue to dive into the tragedy of the disappearance of the Sumerian civilization to figure out what actually happened. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, ensure to like, share, and subscribe for more.